Oh my god, you let your dogs on the couch?
Yeah, my dogs are allowed on the couch.
That's not allowed. Like, that'll mess with your pec order. Before you know it, your dog is going to be paying your mortgage and driving your car and do whatever they want.
Oh man, I would love it if they would pay rent and free rides. Like, where can I sign up? That sounds amazing.
Oh my god, I bet you let them eat off your plate as well.
Yeah,
And guess what? That's disgusting.
they still listen to me too, even if I feed them food from my plate.
Alright, let's talk about a few of these old school rules and why they never seem to die. Spoiler alert, it doesn't make me a bad dog trainer for breaking those rules. It actually makes my dog better trained. So let's dive straight into it. So, do I let my dogs eat from my plate? Yes, I do. I really don't mind because they know that when I want them to leave me alone, they will. So I can tell my dog to go off and leave me alone. So off, down. And I can continue eating, but I can even just leave this plate right here and walk off, and they know they cannot eat from this plate. I have trained them impulse control. Me feeding them from my plate is not going to make them feel like they can eat from this plate whenever they want to. Let me demonstrate. I don't even have to say leave it. As you can see, you can hear me. I'm far away by now, and I'm wearing my microphone, so you know I'm not here. But my dogs simply know the rules. Just because there's food around doesn't mean it's mine. And me feeding them from my plate isn't going to change that. Does that mean that you should be feeding your dog off the plate? No. It's totally up to you if you want to do that or not. But for me, it kind of crept in because my partner kept feeding my dog food from the plate, and now it's just a habit. And you know what? I enjoy sharing my pizza crust with my dogs. So it is completely dependent on you and your rules. Does it make you a bad dog owner feeding your dog food from a plate? No, it doesn't. And while we're here, let's also quickly debunk that eating before or after your dog has absolutely zero consequence to your dog. Like, you can eat whenever you want, after or before the dog, and let me tell you, they really won't think that you'll be the boss of them more if you eat before them. The dog won't care at all. Don't tell me you also have the dogs on the bed. Seriously? There's nothing wrong with having your dogs in the bed, unless there's issues like resource guarding or over-attachment or separation anxiety. That's when I would say your dog should get out of the bed and we need to start working on these problems. Especially if there's some aggression issues going on, dogs should be out of the bed. Now, if you do not have any of these issues, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your dogs on the bed if that is how you want to live with your dogs. Some people just don't like it because of the dog hair, the space, the smell, and that's totally personal choice. My dogs are totally allowed on the bed whenever they want, as long as they go off when I want them off. And they can even go under the blankets. Does it really matter if your dog goes outside after or before you? Well, it doesn't for me. For me, it's more important that your dog has door manners. For example, my dogs, as you can see at the moment, are not walking outside until I say that they can go. That is much more important than does your dog go out of the door before you or after you. And that goes for going inside the house and outside the house. So, for example, I can walk out now and my dogs will stay. I mean, Lenny doesn't even want to be here. Yeah, I can walk out and they know they've got to stay. That is what's important. if I go out first or later, it's not a form of dominance. It really doesn't matter. It's just an old rule that kind of stuck around the dominance theory, and it's more important that your dog understands door manners. You don't get to go through until I tell you you're allowed to go through the door. And now you're playing tug with your dog. I heard that makes your dog super aggressive. You should not be doing that, especially not with a bully breed. That's just asking for trouble. Actually, I don't think it makes a dog aggressive at all, especially if you play with your dog in the right way. So, implement impulse control, use rules, make sure that you don't play in inappropriate ways. And it's actually a really, really, really good outlet for your dog to make sure that they get what they want. Yeah, it tires them out, makes them feel fulfilled, builds confidence. There's so many benefits of playing tug with your dog, and I haven't met or worked personally with any dogs that got aggressive because of it. If anything, it gave them an appropriate outlet for their reactive behavior. Yeah. I think denying your dog tug, if that's really what they want, actually deteriorates your relationship with them. And playing in a really useful way with them would build relationship. So, does tug make your dog aggressive? Nope. Alright, so how do you get to this point? How do you get to a dog where you don't need to set all these arbitrary rules that don't really teach your dog much anyway? Right? And this is where impulse control training comes in, and teaching your dog how to live with them that's not solely focused on obedience. And this is where you're going to need corrections. And before everyone is going to be like, oh my god, corrections. A correction could be as simple as no. Or using your lead to say, you can't do that. If my dog tries to go through the door before I said so, then I will either use the leash or I'll step into my dog with body pressure, which is a correction. Does that mean my dog is afraid of me? No, but they do know, oh, walking through the door before I hear the yes means I get pushed back, right, with spatial pressure. And the same goes with if I'm eating food, right? If you try to walk to my plate, I will step in between and move you back with spatial pressure. Those are all corrections. That doesn't make your dog fearful or nervous. It makes them realize, okay, cool, I can't get away with that one. Right? So it's totally up to you which corrections you want to use, but remember, a correction is only effective if the behavior changes. If you just end up saying to your dog, no, 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 and nothing changes, then your dog doesn't give a shit about no. Right? So you need to find something that works for your dog, and then you can live with your dog however you please. If you can tell your dog, get off the bed, and they listen, then have them on the bed. It really doesn't matter. It's all about how do you live with your dog. Can your dog follow your rules? The more rules they can follow, the more freedom they get. Sounds counterproductive, but actually it's the exact opposite. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think of this video. Do you do any of these rules? Are you a bad dog trainer because you do most of these or any of these? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye!